Welcome to the Builders of Authority podcast, a show committed to helping you build authority for your brand. In the realm of business and personal branding, authority stands as a cornerstone. Authority isn't built overnight, it's built over time. So join us as we build something remarkable together. And now, here's your host, Adam McChesney.
Welcome back, everyone, to another episode of the Builders of Authority podcast. Our title sponsor for the podcast is Go High Level, also known as GHL. GHL is the first ever all-in-one platform that will give you the tools, support, and resources you need to succeed and crush your marketing goals. Personally, I've used the software since 2020. It's been a game changer for my business and our clients. If you're looking to level up your CRM and marketing game, then this is the platform to use. You can find a link for a free and extended 30-day trial with tons of Builders of Authority bonuses in the show notes. So take advantage of the opportunity to adopt GHL's amazing software and grow your business. Today's going to be a great episode. I recently met today's guest at the end of last year through a mutual connection. We had the opportunity to hop on a Zoom call and get to know each other and learn more about what we have going on in our businesses. We both quickly realized we knew a lot of the same people and had done some pretty incredible things in the digital marketing space. Finding people like today's guest in the marketing space is hard to come by because so many people are faking it. He is not. It's a breath of fresh air meeting people just like him. Today's guest is Chris Martinez. He is the founder and CEO of Bloom. They help agencies maximize their value, unlock potential, and achieve an 8-figure exit. Chris, welcome to the show, man.
Thanks to be on here, man. Love waking up early and getting to spend time with you.
Yeah, man, I appreciate that. So tell everybody, who is Chris and what do you guys do at Bloom?
Oh, what a deep question. Who am I? Well, it depends on who you ask. No, I'm the CEO and founder of Bloom. I have been an agency owner in the past. Well, actually, I've been a failed magazine owner. That was like my first entrepreneurial venture. Failed miserably and lost all my money. And then I got into digital marketing around 2009 and started working for a PPC company. That was like my first job in digital marketing. And then started my agency in 2012. Ran that until 2020. Ended up selling that to a former partner. And the reason I did that is because in 2017, I started an outsourcing company called Dude. That's kind of like, I don't know, the biggest thing that we did. We had over 100 employees. We did millions and millions of dollars in revenue. And then that eventually transitioned into what we do now, which is Bloom. And that's kind of like an interesting story, I think. Give you the super short version. We can dive into it more if you like, but we were helping through the outsourcing company. We were helping marketing agencies to get access to talent in Mexico and Latin America. And I was one of the first people to ever build a team in Mexico. I was down there in 2015 and I was actually crossing the border every single day. So I've personally crossed the border more than like 2,000 times.
Wow.
So I was living in San Diego. I would drive down to TJ every single day, sometimes multiple times a day. For my own agency in 2015, that turned into the outsourcing company in 2017, and then that blew up. But then in like 2022, we started helping clients with more than just staffing and outsourcing stuff. They would ask us about SOPs and just hiring other people and building out a leadership team and like increasing their profitability and all these non-sexy parts of running a marketing agency. And we ended up getting a client that said, I don't want any of this outsourcing stuff. I just want you to come in and help us fix our operations and profitability and stuff like that. So that was kind of like a light bulb moment for us. And then we recognized that the outsourcing business model, in my opinion, is going away. Mm-hmm. You don't really need, the way that we were doing it, you don't really need a middleman. What people want, what clients want, is they really want like a staffing partner or a placement, agency that'll connect them to the talent. They just pay like a one-time fee, and then you get that person forever. And so we recognized that the Dude business model, which was not that, we were basically this middleman that would sit in the middle, and you pay us, we pay the employee, we make a margin. That was kind of like going to die. And so we recognized, we can do a lot more fulfilling things doing the consulting that we'd already started doing.
Oh, yeah.
And ultimately helping agencies to do this big exit, right? Because our best clients they recognize that they're not going to do this forever, and they want to build a business that's an asset that they can sell one day. Now, that one day might be 10 years down the road, 25 years down the road, whatever. But they have this vision that they don't want to just be kind of like a slave to their agency and just be a worker bee forever. They do want to build something that they can sell one day. And so, we at Bloom are a part of that. We help them to realize that dream. So we rebranded back in July July 2024, called ourselves Bloom. We decided, like, the joke that we had is that dude had to grow up. And so we became Bloom, and been doing it. We've been doing the consulting for years, but the rebranded of the company has been since July. So
That's awesome.
Aside from the business part, I'm a husband. I've been married for a little over 3 years. I have 2 dogs. I love dogs. I joke around that I get along better with dogs than I do with people.
That's awesome.
Maybe some people can empathize with it. I also do Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu.
Oh, wow.
I'm not very good. I'm injured quite a bit. And I've been a soccer player for 40 years. That's kind of like my main sport. And the other thing that I like to say is, well, one is I'm a sociologist by education, which some people find it entertaining. And I like to consider myself a philanthropist. I'm one of those people that wants to leave the world a better place whenever.
Love it.
That's me.
I can definitely tell that. And thanks for sharing. I think I know there's quite a few agency owners that listen to this podcast, but I think just any entrepreneur that heard you say, we help people not be a slave to the business. I think a lot of people sympathized with that and understand what that's like. And having built now 3 different agencies myself, I look back at different aspects where it's like, man, I just created a very chaotic job for myself because I had no idea what I was doing at different aspects of it. So it's awesome to know that there's people out there like yourself that can kind of connect the missing links inside of a business.
Yeah, there's definitely different stages to running a marketing agency. Any business, right? There's different levels, what we call it, right? And so once you get to about $1 million in revenue, that's when all these non-sexy things are necessary. Otherwise, you're going to get stuck and you're just going to be miserable. You're probably going to make less money.
Yeah.
Right. And so that's kind of like our target when we come in. We have a couple different programs, but the main one that we do, where we come in and basically become what we call like your interim leadership team and help to fix all these issues in the business that you didn't even know existed. We come in around $1 million, $2 million. Because, those things are just going to hold you back. I think you've probably been there before where you're just like, what in the hell did I build for myself? And I have no idea what I'm supposed to do next. It's like deadlines are getting missed. Clients are up your ass, like chewing you out. You don't even know what the hell happened because everything was supposed to be going according to plan.
Yeah.
You look at the company bank account and you're like, we just had our best sales month ever. How in the world are we not more profitable? Yeah. You just start questioning your own existence. Actually, what sucks the most is when you start questioning if you're good. Like you start questioning your own self-worth as an entrepreneur, sometimes like as a person.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
It becomes this like existential crisis and you're like, oh my God, but you can't leave.
Yeah.
Right. You're sitting there and you're like, I cannot take a day off because if I leave, the whole thing's going to fall apart and then my reputation is going to be ruined and like all these other terrible things that you think about.
Yeah.
Absolutely. So it's really, really difficult. Like running a marketing agency is not easy, contrary to what the gurus say. You can't just take this course and then you're going to be a, overnight millionaire and you're going to be living on a beach and, some person in the Philippines is going to be running your whole business. It does not work like that. It's complete bullshit.
It would be nice, but it's not reality. So talk to me a little bit about, you mentioned, right, a couple different things. You mentioned like, hey, we come in and basically act at a very high level in terms of helping you understand what I would refer to as some of the blind spots that you probably didn't know about, probably a lot of the stuff that you did know about and things like that. Talk to us about like what that evolution looks like. 'Cause I'm sure like a lot of people are like, man, I really need somebody like what Chris is talking about, but I don't even know where to begin, how to start, those types of things.
We have a very, very clear-cut process that we use to identify the root causes of the problems. If you ever come to one of my events or you hear me speak, I'm going to beat this phrase into your brain. Facts, not feelings. Every decision that we make needs to be based and rooted in facts, not feelings. I don't care if it comes to people, profitability, systems and processes that we put in the business, training, whatever. Everything we do is rooted in facts, not feelings. What's that phrase?
Facts, not feelings.
Thank you very much. Okay, it's also the title of my book.
Yeah, I love that.
Now, I would say 99% of the marketing agency owners that come to us, they've been making decisions based on feelings. I feel like I should do this. Okay, cool. How are you doing your pricing? Well, my competitors are charging $14.97, so I think I should come in. I feel like I should come in at $11.97. Just all emotional decision making, right? So the first thing that we have to do is we have to look at your team and what they're actually doing and what they should be responsible for, or like what they need to be responsible for. And the second thing is your numbers. We got to look at your numbers. We will analyze 12 months of P&L, sometimes longer, so that we can see trends and we can see profitability, see where the money's going. And then from those two things, we can identify what is the root causes of all the problems that are in the business. Maybe it's churn's too high. Maybe you're spending too much to get the products or projects fulfilled. Maybe you don't have the right people in the right places. Maybe you're spending too much time as the owner. Maybe you're spending too much time in fulfillment, or maybe you don't have anybody in customer experience that's managing the relationships with the clients. Like everybody has a different kind of starting point.
Yep.
But I have yet to meet an agency owner that doesn't have a problem that we have solved before or that we know how to solve.
Yeah.
Because they're all kind of the same.
Yes.
You just have to get to the actual root cause of the problem. Everybody has them, just so you know. It doesn't matter if you're doing, $1 million a month or $1 million a year or $100,000 a year. Yeah. They're all kind of the same problems, just at different scales. If that makes sense.
100%. Like you said something earlier. It was like, hey, you might actually grow from $1 million on and make less money. I was talking to, I was on a podcast a couple of weeks ago, and I was like, yeah, like I literally made almost more money when we did 750,000 than I did at 1.7 million. Because I didn't know what I was doing other than selling and growing and hiring more people and the whole gamut, right? You've seen it 100 times, but so often, right? We think more revenue is going to equate to fixing all of the problems. More money is going to be able to, no, it doesn't. Absolutely right now. So like you have to fix those things. And the sooner you tackle and fix those things, the better the longevity is. A lot of people are like, oh no, I'm just going to go and scale and then I'll fix the problems. And I've done that too. And that's also not the answer.
Yeah. I hate that phrase. Sales solves all problems.
That's not true.
Sometimes it can. But it can also just put gasoline on a gigantic problem that you have, right? Of more money going out the door.
Yes.
So, there's kind of this myth of like economies of scale. Once I hit this mark, then everything else is profit. And 99 times out of 100, that is not true in the marketing agency space.
Yes.
If you're selling, this is another thing that drives me crazy, is that you have gurus out there that are telling you to sell like really cheap packages, and they're not super profitable. Yeah. And so then you just keep selling cheap packages, not super profitable, and you get to $1 million in revenue. So you've got this like, fancy 7-figure agency that's not really making any money.
Yeah.
And then they come, like people have come to us in the past, and like we've had multiple 7-figure agencies coming to us, and they're losing money following the advice of certain people. And then I'm like, well, here's the problem is you're charging so little and you're spending so much on fulfillment, and you can't actually find the quality people that you need to do the fulfillment properly.
Yes.
Because you're charging so little, right? There's just not enough of the pie to go around to the team that's going to help build the business. Right? Ultimately, we're going to have to do some major overhauls in your pricing, right? Yes. So we've got to increase the pricing. We've also got to figure out how to be way more efficient in the fulfillment. And we've got to figure out how to find some amazingly talented people on a shoestring budget. We could have avoided all of this if you just charged the good pricing at the beginning.
Yes.
So you have fewer options if you listen to that advice of, sales solves all problems. It's better to build a business that's actually sustainable from the beginning. And this is true of all of the very successful people, is that they build a business that is successful at the beginning and then ride that and scale that. Stop trying to put lipstick on a pig, or Perry Belcher said, this is way more crude. Stop trying to polish a turd, right? Which is what most marketing agencies try and do.
Yeah.
So like if you just set it up properly, it's going to be way easier to scale that business, right? The other analogy that I use that is kind of crazy when you think about it. Imagine if you want to play in the NFL, right? And you say, okay, well, I'm going to work out once I get to the NFL. I'm going to hit the weights. I'm going to do sprints. I'm going to train. As soon as I get to the NFL, then I'll start doing all of that.
Yes. Yeah.
Right? You think you're ever going to get there?
No.
No, it ain't going to happen. Right? So, yeah. I went off on a tangent.
There's a lot of things.
You're very passionate about this stuff.
Man, me too, because again, I've seen so many people do the wrong things because they've listened. This probably is a good segue, but they've listened to the wrong advice, right? Yeah. And I was a culprit of that, right? Where it was just no, go hit 7 figures and then go sell and sell and sell. And I was doing all these things based on other people getting something from me in return in one way or another. And then I realized oh crap, this person has never actually done the thing. They don't even know what they're doing. I've been taking the wrong advice for now 3 years at this point. What all the questions that you said earlier, am I even good at this? What am I doing? Am I worthless? All the different things. So talk to us about a little bit about the process somebody's going through of who should I be listening to? What questions should I be asking? Those types of things. I think people just see something on social media, I'm going to go buy that course. I'm going to go join this person's mastermind. And they don't actually vet or ask the right questions, right?
Yeah. So I think that when you look at the gurus that are out there, you need to recognize that they're typically good at a few things. They're not good at everything. And I think it's also important to look at things outside of business. Yeah. This might be controversial for some people, right? I don't listen to people that have very bad physical health, because that's really important to me.
Yeah.
I believe that your physical health will absolutely be reflected in the business in terms of habits and discipline and things like that. Right. I can't name names on this, whatever, but I don't listen to people that don't value relationships, or if I find out that they're cheating on their spouse all the time, I don't respect that person.
Oh yeah.
There's a guru out there that is addicted to prostitutes. I don't respect that. Yeah. Right. I'm not going to listen to that person. Now, maybe I'm just being overly judgmental, but that's just the way that it is with me.
Yeah.
So I think you do need to look at the things that are going on outside of just that business, because on the inside, there's usually massive management challenges. The businesses are run very poorly. They're not actually very profitable.
Yeah.
Right. And I've talked to some of these gurus. There's one guy in particular who he typically deals with smaller types of agencies. And he came to me, this is a few years back. He's like, I want to sell my company. And I was like, okay, give me tell me what your numbers are. He tells me his numbers, and granted, he's selling the, hey, I'm going to help you make millions and millions of dollars. Right. And he's selling himself as being a multimillionaire type of deal. I looked at his numbers, and he was doing $300,000 a year in revenue.
Yeah.
Right. Which is not very much. I mean, if you're at $300,000 a year right now, and you're listening to this, I'm not saying that you're a bad entrepreneur. Right?
Yeah.
But that messaging was not very good. And then I was like, well, what's your profit? He's like, well, my profit's 90%. I was like, well, that's a red flag. It's never 90%. It's 90% because I'm doing all the work. And I'm like, okay, so you don't have a team.
Yeah.
You don't actually know your numbers. And then I was like, what do you think this company is worth? He's like, well, I think I could get, a million, maybe 1.5. I'm like, dude, you're out of your mind. You're out of your mind. That is not possible. Right? So, because, I mean, he kind of doesn't have any profit, doesn't have any EBIT. Right?
Mm-hmm.
So, like, just do digging. Just do some digging and actually look at the person, see if they have an actual team, right? That's something that you should look at.
Yeah.
Do they have a team? Are they running the business? Have they done the things that they say that they're going to do?
Mm-hmm.
Do they have team members also that have experience too? Because a lot of the times you're not going to be working directly with the mentor.
Yes.
You have to look at the team members that are supporting them.
Mm-hmm.
Right? So like on my team, for example, like my business partner's name's Alan. He took a company public. He's still the CFO. That's his day job. He's the CFO of a publicly traded company. He went to Harvard Business School. He and I had dinner last night. We were just like hanging out, talking business and stuff. That's my go-to, So like when I need advice or like I have a question that I don't know the answer to, I'll go to somebody like that.
Yeah.
And I also have mentors that have built much bigger businesses than I have that I go to, that I can get advice from, that I can then pass it along to my clients. Like, I'm not like, I don't think I'm very amazing. Like I'm very humble. Like, I fail all the fucking time, man. Like I fail daily.
Yeah.
Massive failures.
Yeah.
Right. So I try and be straight up with people. Like I don't have all the answers.
Yeah.
I'm very honest about that.
Yeah.
I'm incredibly hardworking and I will find the answers, but I do know a lot of shit.
Yeah.
Like I've had over 100 employees. I know how that works.
Mm-hmm.
I've done millions and millions of dollars in revenue. I've done that. Yeah. I've lost all my money too, by the way. Mm-hmm. Multiple times I've lost all my money.
Yeah.
So I know what it's like to be flat broke or to not have many options.
Mm-hmm.
And like I didn't have this big inheritance from anybody. My family's not entrepreneurs. I didn't have any connections. Like nobody hooked me up with my first job out of college. Now, granted, I've had a lot of benefits. Like I grew up in a household that valued education. I was born in the United States. Mm-hmm. Like I've had lots of things, but, like most people, I've had a lot of challenges as well. So I'm not like some amazing person. But yeah, just do digging, man. Like just be honest. Like if it sounds too good to be true, most likely it is.
Yeah, no, 100%.
The other thing that drives me fucking crazy, and I'm going to piss some people off, but I don't care. Hiding behind your religion.
Oh, yeah.
You and I talked about this behind the scenes. Dude, if it's, and I have no problem with religion. I grew up in a born again Christian household.
Yes.
I've seen that style. I have lots of friends. Alan's, a Christian as well. I have nothing against religion. Mm-hmm. But if it's so in your face, is it a marketing ploy?
Yes.
Is it just for marketing?
Mm-hmm.
Or is it legitimate? Like just question those things. Like if it sounds too good to be true, most likely something is bullshit.
Oh yeah, absolutely. Well, like a couple different things there. Like I think a big red flag as well, and this is something that I learned the hard way when it was like people were asking to look at my numbers, right? Mm-hmm. And so I literally have my numbers from the past 3 years on my Builders of Authority Mastermind website and
That's
everything.
Awesome.
I have my P&L, like literally the P&L, and I say, hey, here's my company name. Here's literally everything. Because I'm like, hey, I've been burned by people that have sent me over an Excel spreadsheet, but then asked for my QuickBooks, right? It's like, okay, we're looking at two different things. Like you could have literally put anything in there, right? But like if they aren't able to show you those things in their own business, or if they're working with a client that's just like you, like I want to see those things. I don't need to know all the name. I just want to see something. And they're like, no. And then they're just like, no, just trust me though, right? Like, don't you not trust me? And then obviously the religion thing or something where it is a marketing ploy, because I see all these people doing it, and you and I know a lot of the same people that have done it. And you're like, man, if they are who they say they are, I have receipts of all the stuff they've done behind the scenes. If I put that up on social media, it would wreck them, and it would break it to the ground because it is a marketing ploy. Now, if it were true as not a marketing ploy, then they would be fine. But everybody's always worried about the reality of people finding out the truth, because so many people show up as inauthentic, right? And so like you saying that you fail and all those different things, like when I'm working with people, and I was talking to an investor the other day, I was on his podcast, and he's just like, man, when people are coming to ask me, for money. He goes, I go back to the first thing that an investor asked me when he wrote me $1 million check 5 years ago.
Mhm.
I don't care about what you've done or where you're going. Tell me about your failures.
Yeah.
And he's like, when I shared my failure, the guy was like, yeah, I was trying to like say, but I fixed it. And he goes, no, I just want to know that you failed. You had to start over
Mhm.
and that you came out on the other side. Cause that's
Yep.
probably the biggest piece. But so often we're so like worried about people knowing our failures. It's like, if you think it's as rainbows and sunshine as these people make it look like on social media, you're going to have a rude awakening.
They're selling the get rich quick, and
Yeah.
that's what's destroyed our industry,
It has.
unfortunately. And like, I don't know if you've experienced this, but like, if you tell somebody that you're a digital marketer or that you own a digital marketing agency, they
Mhm.
think you're a scammer.
Oh, yeah.
That's
I mean,
that's the state of our industry right now.
my
We've
mom has
allowed
no,
this
my
to
mom
happen
has,
because we're not calling people out on the bullshit.
my mom has no idea what I do. She just knows like from online stuff enough. She's like, I'm like, Mom, just trust me. I'm not doing anything illegal.
She's like, why not?
Yeah, it'd be a lot more cool if you were. No, that's
Awesome.
awesome. But so talk to me a little bit about like, so how have you guys grown your business
Mhm.
like through your authority, right? So whether that's how you guys get your clients, I know you threw an event last year, like talk about
Yeah.
some of the brand building you all have done as you especially rebranded, right? Talk
Mhm.
to me a little bit about that.
Yeah, for sure. So like most people, I started my business from referral. Actually, when I got my first marketing agency client way back in 2012, uh, I was broke, right? Because I was still like licking my wounds from my first failed business and paying off debt. So I had no money, and I finagled my way into a women in business conference. So it's 2012. I'm 32 years old. Like I was like, hey, like I want to go to this conference. So I basically offered a free auction item
Mm,
in the silent auction. I was like,
yeah.
bid and you can get a website. So like we didn't make any money, but we got our first client.
Yeah.
And then
there
I
you go.
also finagled my way into the conference because I didn't have $150 to spend on a ticket.
Mhm.
So I said the night before the conference, I messaged the lady who I had met who ran the event. And I said, hey, do you need any help? I'm not doing anything tomorrow. She's like, well, you can be our mic runner. So I was the mic runner. I was like the only man in this entire event. And then I ended up meeting people, right? Because I was
Yeah.
networking. I was also in pretty good shape back then.
Yeah.
So so I ended up networking and meeting a bunch of people that some of them ended up becoming clients later on. And so that's how I did it at the beginning. Just hustle, like just trying to figure out a way to
Mhm.
get in the door.
Yeah.
And then let's fast forward to Dude, because I think that's a fun story. So I started Dude, which was the outsourcing company, and we got to like, I don't know, 12,000 MRR really fast, right? And like for me at the time, that was like a lot of money.
Yeah.
And so I was like, okay, let's go to the traffic and conversion conference.
Hmm.
Rest in peace.
Yeah.
Back in 2018, and I got a booth. So it was like 5,500 for the booth. I lived in San Diego. The event was in San Diego, so I didn't have to spend money on travel and hotel. And then I, had to get all the booth swag and stuff like that. So that was like 10 grand. So we were about 10,000 into it all in. And so we go to this booth, and from that one event, we got like $400,000 worth of business
Goodness.
from that one event.
Yeah.
Right. So we took a risk. We put ourselves out there, and it paid off massively. And then, the rest, everything kind of like grew from there. Right now, the things that are really helping us on the lead gen side is cold calling.
Mm.
So I have a rock star cold caller. You want to talk about that? We can talk about that. That's a whole nother session.
Yeah.
But there's like this talent pool, this hidden talent pool of cold callers right now that nobody's tapping into. So our
Mhm.
cold caller's rocking it. She booked 5 appointments for me yesterday. We have a
Nice.
good script, right? She's
Yeah.
super, super talented.
Yep.
So yeah, when it comes to the authority stuff, like I mentioned this to you earlier, like I feel like that's something that I'm still developing, and maybe there's some self-doubt or some limiting beliefs that I have about that. The things that I have done that have really helped me is writing, right? So I've written 4 books.
Yep.
Obviously, I'm gonna show my book again. Facts Not Feelings. Go and get it on Amazon. So I've always been a pretty good writer, even when I was a kid, and I've enjoyed it. And so writing those books, my first book was called It's Not Just a Website. My second book was called Hacking Mexico. My third book was called Never Wear Pants Again. And then this book is called Facts, Not Feelings. Right. And so those books definitely give you like instant credibility.
Yes.
It's not easy to write a book.
Mm-hmm.
It takes discipline, and you got to just grind it out, and you're going to be embarrassed with the product, but other people will think it's good.
Yeah.
The other thing is most people don't actually read the book, which is kind of sad. But that's been another thing. And then my podcast, like I'm a big advocate of having a podcast. Don't think that there's too many podcasts out there. It's a great way to meet people and network. And the other big thing, hosting our live events.
Right.
So we've hosted our Agency Freedom Live event. I think this is going to be our 6th one that we have coming up in June. Like it's a massive production. It's incredibly expensive and terrifying to put it on. Like the night before I did my December event, I was having nightmares every single night.
Mm-hmm.
Just like terrible nightmares, like zombie apocalypse nightmares. And of course it was tied to the stress of putting on the event. And like, you're going to have to stand up on this stage in front of all these people that have purchased tickets. And you're like, there's going to be some self-doubt. Like, are they going to get value? Like, are they going to hate me? Are they going to like walk out? So like, it's very stressful. But on the flip side of that, if you have the balls to be able to do something like that, you will get the admiration of other people that are there.
Mm-hmm.
Because a lot of people are like, I could never do that, or I don't know how they do that.
Yes.
And, so of course you're delivering value, you're leading with value, you're being a good person. But that's another thing, is if you can put on a live event for people, man, that'll just skyrocket your credibility.
Absolutely.
Right? Yeah. So
no,
those are like the big ones.
That's awesome. Like, so when I talk about like authority, right, and we were talking before this, right, so many people think like, oh my gosh, I don't do all of this stuff on social media. I don't do it. It's like, the great thing about authority is there's no one way to do it. There's no exact blueprint. There's so many other things. Like you talk about writing books, you talk about the podcast, you talk about throwing your live events. Like those things are levels up from what most people don't do. A lot of people go to social media and they're like, hey, I've been posting for 90 days. Why don't I have authority? It's like, okay, like
I post on social media too, but I think I suck at it.
Yeah, no, but a lot of people are just like, I teach people how to do this and they're just like, well, I've done it for 98 days, Adam. Like, why am I not getting, I'm like, I've been doing this for over 5 years now. I also have the podcast. I also throw my own, I have a lot more things, right? But it's always about stacking and getting to that next level to where it's like, hey, I have to level up too on my end of things. There's not, again, the cat's skinned 100 different ways. So you got to find what works for you. And obviously you found some very strategic things to help push the needle forward.
Yeah. And I'd say just discipline and focus.
Yeah.
I'm big on discipline and focus. This is not sexy, guys. Like you're just going to have to continue doing it over and over and over, just like going to the gym. Like if you're doing a weight loss program, you can't just do it for a week and then expect to get results, or do it for a week and then take 3 weeks off and then come back and then think that you're going to get in the shape that you want to get.
100%.
Just doing the crappy thing that you don't like doing over and over and over and over again. And then when you want to stop, guess what? You keep doing it over and over and over and over again. Just keep going. Just keep going. That's it. Yeah. It's not get rich quick.
Mm-hmm.
Right?
Yeah. No,
just keep doing it.
Couldn't agree more. Well, Chris, this has been an amazing episode, man. I learned a lot myself, but I certainly appreciate you coming in and dropping some golden nuggets here for our audience today. Where can people stay connected with you online?
I mean, if you want to like work with us, you can go to bloompartners.io. I am putting more stuff on the Instagrams. So you can go to Chris from Bloom. You can go to bloompartners.io on Instagram too. But I think the fun stuff is actually on my channel. I don't know if that's good.
Yeah,
I don't know if my strategy is good or not. But I like, if you want puppy stuff and you also want business stuff, go to Chris from Bloom on Instagram.
Love it, man. Well, thank you so much for coming on. This was an awesome episode. Looking forward to listening to this one back myself. And yeah, man, certainly appreciate you and looking forward to hopefully meeting you here in person one day soon.
Yeah, for sure. Thanks, man.
Awesome. Thank you so much, Chris. And thank you again to our title sponsor, Go High Level. Without them, we aren't able to produce the quality of content or have amazing guests on like we did today with Chris. Check out a free and extended 30-day trial in the show notes. Make sure as well to leave us a 5-star review, making a big push for review this year, and it definitely helps move the needle. And remember, authority isn't built overnight, it's built over time.
Thanks so much for tuning into this episode. We sure do appreciate it. If you haven't done so already, make sure you're subscribed to the show wherever you consume podcasts. This way you'll get notifications as new episodes become available. If you feel so inclined, please leave us a review. We sure do appreciate it. Until next time, friends.